You are now dialed into Investment Research Radio. All material on this program is not to be taken as investment advice and is for informational purposes only. Investment Research Radio interviews the most exciting up-and-coming companies, as well as market commentary from leading analysts and traders. Now with your host, Ray Crowley.
Welcome to Investment Research Radio. I'm your host, Ray Crowley, and today we have a few gentlemen. J. Benjamin Lee, Director of Canada, Henrik Von Scheel, a Board of Director, and also Nils Junge, as also a Director of Epoque Plus. And this is an artificial intelligence trading fund. It's originating out of Europe, and we have a couple of the European founders on today. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
So, who wants to give us a bit of a background on the Epoque Plus and how it came to be?
My name is Henrik Von Scheel. I'm one of the co-founders of Époque. Époque is an artificial intelligence trading service platform. We are the leaders in that field. And we are serving institutional investors, family offices, banks. So from that aspect, we have a certificate in Europe. We serve family offices via broker accounts, or so this is how we serve them as a software as a service.
Yes.
You know how we originally kicked off is that, many years ago, in 2009, people know me best as the originator of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which has kicked up a global theme today, and it changes every aspect of our life: how we live, consume, how we interact with each other, and every aspect of our economic pillars. And one of these 17 pillars of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, so the themes are being pushed at the World Economic Forum and other things. One of them is artificial intelligence. And me and my partner, Peter Niederschauls, the other co-founder, we were initiating to think, good, how can we participate in the market by having a consistent performance every month with the lowest risk possible. So we've been developing Époque for the last 8 years. We have a strong track record the last 2 years. And so this is the first time we're coming out to the Canadian market. We have been preparing this for over 8 months for a structure that fits the Canadian market. We are regulated in Switzerland, so it would be a software solution towards the Canadian fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'll talk about the fund.
So you just to make our listeners clear to the listeners, from what I understand, it's an automated trading platform that can plug into people's trading accounts. That's typically been used in Switzerland and Europe. But you're actually able to turn this into a fund. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the strategy, is working great in Europe. We tried to bring it into Canada as a software as a service and found that we couldn't run the business model for a couple of reasons in Canada and the U.S. And so we found that in order to give Canadians and Americans access to, this leading edge technology, we needed to create a fund where the strategy would be to use the software as a service and pool the assets of investors and take it offshore. So we've set up a Cayman Islands investment fund that investors, Canadians that are in the exempt market, are able to access this trading service.
And so this is going to be available to, for the most part, institutions, family offices, high net worth individuals.
Exactly. Yeah, through an exempt market dealer.
Excellent. And so is this based off of direct Forex, or is it a CFD, contract for difference?
We're mainly doing in Europe the CFDs for our customers.
Okay. And could you explain to the listeners what CFDs are?
CFDs are contract for difference. And so when you look at the artificial intelligence, if I should highlight a little bit the key element, what it provides within in CFDs. So if you look, for example, the Forex market is where you look on the currencies pairs that you are trading towards each other. So artificial intelligence is for the financial sector a huge game changer. Because it can interact in a speed of time, and it can interact in real time. It can create a quite different performance. So from our perspective, artificial intelligence is what fire was for the caveman. It changes every aspect in the financial sector. So and I could explain that quite easily by explaining what is it where that actually makes a difference on the performance, because we are not algo trading. Algo trading is a terminology that's really popular in the market. So this is where you are looking at the trends of the market. You use a lot of resources that look at patterns. They look at mechanisms and how the market has performed, and they predict based on what the market has performed. They program a pattern into a system, and they are projecting that will happen again. And so
historical.
Yes, so that works quite well for 3-4 months, and then the strategy crashes down, and then they have to invest time again, and so on. So 99% of the market is actually working on historical data. And what artificial intelligence does is that when you have the definition of artificial intelligence is that you automate intelligence. And so what we have done, we have put 2 machines together. They work consistently in a real-time portion towards the market. So normally with historical data, you look at patterns and you create a strategy. And every time the market is within that frame of the strategy, it performs. And we are not putting a strategy towards the market. We are moving as the market is moving up and down. And we're doing that without using a lot of resources. We are reacting at a speed of time that human beings cannot normally do it. And we are doing that with by, for example, sending out a scout order where we are verifying the trend of the market consistently. We are then verifying which element the trend is working on, and then we are consistently reacting towards the market. The other part that differentiates us quite big is that with that element, we have managed to have a consistent performance. So last year, we paid out to the clients, average clients, that got a performance of around 22%. Wow. And that's a quite high one. That's what we did in Europe.
Yes.
And so what we are then doing is that we are managing the risk is the other part that we are working with on artificial intelligence.
Very, very impressive. So is it strictly trading Forex, or is it also other CFD product, like CFD commodities or stocks?
No, it's strictly Forex what we trade.
Okay, excellent.
And the reasons why the volume on the Forex market is over 5.7 billion a day. So that's a humongous volume that is there. So that's also why the Forex market by design is extremely attractive, but it's also a high risk. It's a high risk because you have a margin level. So if you cannot control the margin level, you can win a lot, but you can also lose a lot. So this is when you can control the risk. This is a very attractive alternative investment because it's disconnected from the other parts of the market.
And are you using any elements of leverage at all?
Yeah, we're working with a leverage of 1 by 100.
So that's fairly low. Is that correct?
Well, it depends. I mean, you can actually go all the way to 1 by 1,000, but we just designed our system that it performs at 1 by 100, and that's what we do in Europe. As far as I know, by regulation in Canada, you can only go through your broker with a leverage by 1 by 25.
Oh, okay.
But what we do is, we basically from the money the customers put in, we only trade with 10% of the money. So the other 90% are just margin we hold back.
Oh, okay.
So our performance actually results only out of using 10% as a maximum. We never use more than 10%. On average, it's more like between 4 and 7% that is out there daily.
Okay.
That's a quite unique element, because most family office or institutional are always looking us in the eye and saying, okay, guys, what is it that I'm risking? What is it I can lose? And in reality, because we have only trading with 10%, they're only risking 10% the first 2 or 3 months. And from there on, we're only trading from the profit.
Interesting. Yeah.
Average performance in Europe had been like 3.3, 3.4% a month last year. So if you are in the system for 3 to 4 months, we're only working off the profit.
Is there a lot of other funds that have got to this level of sophistication? Are you guys in competing with many others out there, or?
As far as we know, we're the only ones that are using artificial intelligence for trading. As Henrik said earlier, all the other guys are working on robo and algo trading, and there's no smart thing behind that.
So when you would look at, we have a comparison between us and the best performing hedge funds, and on Forex, and the hedge funds, they have the most expensive and the best guys in the market to trade. And when you look on the average of them, they may make a +2 1 month, -2 next month. So in average, the best performing hedge fund Forex focused elements, they have an average of around 2.9% a year, what they made full year.
Wow.
And this is why if you go into a market that is very attractive, but you can control it, then you crack the nut, and that's a difficult thing.
And you're also not you're not related. There's no correlation to the general stock markets. So
Not at all.
as an investment, that's very appealing to many. That typically people, they look at diversification as being pushed into stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever, and those are all subject to the volatility of the markets. Something like this doesn't have any correlation to that, which is very appealing.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that we noticed, if you look back 2008, people feel they're diversified, and they put money in real estate and other land projects, other private equity deals, but in reality, they're all connected to the markets. They're all connected to the banks. And so that's where we are able to diversify even farther. And, any given market event doesn't have an impact because we're moving with the market up and down. And we can make money as the market goes up or as it goes down. It doesn't matter to us. Whereas other, apparently diversified strategies will be impacted on either way.
I remember seeing something saying that the fund managers only get paid when the clients profit. Is that the structure that you have?
That's our business models. We realize that our investors are taking a risk and investing in our fund, and we want to make sure that we're transparent with them. And so with the fund, we have a small advisory fee to cover the cost of compliance for our investment advisor. But after that, it is, we only take performance fees if our investors make money. And so we'll have a high water mark that resets monthly. And then, if we make money for our investors, then we'll take a performance fee. If we don't, then there won't be any performance fee.
Lucky enough, we haven't been able to use the high watermark yet, but we have it built in our business model. But until now, there has been a consistent performance every month.
Wow. And
I mean, our performance in 2017 was like, where was it? It was net for the customer was 18.2 in 18.3 in 2017, and 18.2 in 2018. So that's a very consistent performance we deliver here. And I think the main thing is that we close our orders. We close over 50% of our orders within 11 minutes, and over 95% within the first day. And another 2% within 2 days, and the rest might stay 3 days or longer.
And they are all positive. They are all positive.
Yeah. We have not lost money in a single month.
That's pretty amazing. So as far as availability, is there any funds that are currently active in Canada or other countries?
So with regards to what we're doing, our fund will be launched. We're planning for end of March, and that'll be for Canadians. Next year, we'll add a feeder for Americans to be able to access the fund. But other than that, there's a certificate being launched by Vontobel, which is one of the largest banks in Switzerland that creates financial products. And so they'll be creating an alternative investment product with an ISA number for everyone in the world except for Canadians and Americans. And so that'll be two of the ways that investors across the world will have access to this trading service.
That's great. And is there a website that our listeners can go to?
Yeah, you can check out the actual Epoque Plus website. So it's Epoque, EPOQUE -plus, PLUS.com.
.ch.
It's both.
It's both? Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. It's really nice to have you all on today.
Well, thank you very much. And we are really excited to enter into the Canadian market because it's difficult to access products that are global because products in the market are not really global. So this is a unique thing for Canada, that this product enters into the Canadian market.
Thank you for tuning into Investment Research Radio. Don't forget to sign up for the regular show and stay informed at investmentresearchradio.com.